What's up, guys? Happy Sunday. This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall. On point reviews all day, every day. Today we've got a 2020 release from one of the earliest reviewed brands in my channel, which is Francesca Bianchi. Okay, so she finally released a 2020 fragrance that I believe is going to be stellar for the fall, and I was able to get a sample that I have been wearing actually for the past few weeks. So I got this early. This should have been done a few weeks ago, but for some reason I said, you know what, I think we need to get more impact out of it now that it's getting cooler. This is none other than 2020 Sticky Fingers, right there, Sticky Fingers by Francesca Bianchi. This sample was purchased in Indigo, which is a reliable perfume website. I bought it. Okay, so this is about, I think, $4. But the actual bottle is about 100 euros or 119 euros. And to me, straight up, I think that this should be considered as a full bottle buy for you guys if you're looking for a fall type scent. Okay, so before we continue, guys, as always, we're going to hit the music. Okay, peeps, we're back, guys. Sticky Fingers by Francesca Bianchi, 2020 release. Let's go spray this real quickly. Wow. Man, so you know what? There are perfumes that I kind of wish I included in my 5 first impressions video, but sometimes just my gut feel on these fragrances, just it really works for me, guys. You know, sometimes when I feel like I think it's gonna be a hit or I think it's gonna be really good for me, man, I just want to spray it immediately and I want to test them. So I guess in the future, you know, for these fragrances coming in, I'll really do more of those 5 first impressions. But let me say that Francesca Bianchi's Sticky Fingers really did it for me here. You know, I think that for me, I would categorize this as a impact perfume, especially like first impressions impact perfume. I think that this is one of them. Okay, because you know, there are fragrances that I've tried and I just wasn't so wowed, and sometimes you'll see that in the way that I release the videos. Sometimes I don't even release the fragrance at all because I felt like, well, even if it does redeem itself in the end, it's sort of like it doesn't warrant me making a video and me talking about how awesome certain things are if really for the entire life of the fragrance it was kind of meh. Well, Francesca Bianchi's Sticky Fingers is quite the opposite of that. It is a very impactful perfume, especially from the beginning. And I know that there's a demographic of buyers that really buy perfumes for this point. There are perfume buyers that don't wait until the 8th hour or the 7th hour, and they're all about that first hit, that first dopamine hit of once they spray that perfume, it's gotta make an impact. If you are in that buyer category, then I'm sure you should definitely listen up to this one. Why? Because on the opening, right from the opening of Sticky Fingers, you are going to get hit with 3 very pleasurable notes that really do have impact. Number 1 is patchouli. Patchouli, I don't have a really good relationship with patchouli. I'm sort of like some patchouli fragrances, I'm kind of like, no. But in this case, the patchouli here, although front and center, is greatly blended with other notes that make it really awesome. It's a mild but prominent patchouli right here. And it is also coupled with tobacco. And so tobacco is one of those notes that it's in many, many, many likable fragrances that we know. Carlisle, Herod, you know, for some people, red tobacco even. There's tobacco here, mixes with the patchouli. And the third thing is sandalwood. Lovely, lovely, lovely sandalwood, which still progresses till near the end of the perfume. If you like sandalwood, you're gonna like this one. And the trio of that, patchouli, tobacco, and sandalwood, hits you head on. To me, as a person that, in some cases, I really like first impressions when it comes to fragrances. I really like that first hit. I think that this is a 10 out of 10 because of those three notes: patchouli, tobacco, and sandalwood. Okay? It is thick. It is somewhat a syrupy, rich, fragrance, and there's other notes here that really mold so well with this, and I'll talk about a few here. Number one is cinnamon. So cinnamon adds to the sweetness. You're gonna get something sweet. You're gonna get something that is, you could say, syrupy, sort of like, the way I describe it, for me, it's like a maple syrup with hints of sandalwood, and patchouli, sort of like a maple syrup to me. I like it. It's very pleasurable. Great for the fall. There is some leather here, but I can't really like take it out and say, "Oh, it's leather." It's almost like labdanum actually, rather than leather. And it's whatever it is, leather. It's well blended in because it doesn't really truly stand out. There's other notes, like for example the patchouli, that really stands out the most. Okay, really stands out, and it is also slightly animalic. This one is also slightly animalic, which is, for some, they perceive it as sort of like a boozy like type fragrance because there is some animalic in here. There's some patchouli. Once you mix that with some sweetness, you might get a sort of boozy feel out of this fragrance right here. Okay? Now there's also iris, which is perfectly done, not overboard iris. It's just there to provide a bed of fluff right when you hit this impactful opening. Just picture a person in a motorcycle riding 200 miles per hour and then jumped into a bed of clouds, something like that. The iris provides this very nice hovering bed of clouds and powder. So, as you are very impactful with the opening salvo of this fragrance, eventually you've got this bed of iris. Really, again, very, very likable. Now the dry down here is very sweet, ambery. You've got some tonka bean, heliotrope, you got musk, you got coriander spice. I think that part is sweet, warm, cozy, perfect for the fall. The only way you don't like this is if you don't like syrupy, ambery, sweet fragrances. Because even if you don't like patchouli, I don't think that the patchouli here is one of those where it's like screaming at you. I think the patchouli here is just so well blended in that I think for those that don't like patchouli, I think that you might end up having to reach out an olive branch to patchouli and say, all right, let's be friends again. I kind of like you again, because this will make you really like patchouli fragrances as it is well blended, well done. So again, the dry down is sweet, vanillic, okay, some musk, very, very nice. And in my opinion, when I think about this fragrance and where I would categorize it, I think that it is playful. I think that's what it is. Okay, I know that the reference of Sticky Fingers is some rock chic type chick with a leather jacket, yada yada yada. But when I look at today, I think that it is a playful fall scent. I think that the women are gonna enjoy this. It's a very unique women's fragrance. This is to be worn by somebody that wants to break necks or who wants attention, because there's no way, like I told you guys and gals, this is an impact fragrance. So you're not gonna be all like, well, today I want to be subtle, I don't want to be recognized, I want to be safe. No, this one is going to attract people because of that. You could even say somewhat cloying, right? Somewhat cloying sweetness with that patchouli. But again, it's just so well blended because there are other notes that really make it nice too. You've got sandalwood, you've got iris, you've got tonka. So it's really not one of those one-dimensional fragrances where as you smell it, or you'd be like, oh, I don't like it, because there are facets of it that kind of like come in, and then you like it even more as you go. I can see a girl wearing this, especially with her beau, her boo, And walking through Central Park in the fall, really cold, really nice. I think it's warm, cozy, inviting, but again, playful. This is one of those times where you might, if you might want to grab a snowball and throw it at your bow. You know what I mean? Because it's playful. It's there's nothing serious about this. I don't see anything serious about this. I can't see somebody who has a serious vibe, a serious look to her face, or a guy's face, serious look to a guy's face, and then wear something like this. There's no way. It is very playful, very fall, very warm, comforting, ambery, dry down too. That's all I can say really about that. And I think that if you have the personality, you're gonna love this perfume. I think it's great. I think it's stellar. Again, this is an impact perfume. This is not one of those that, later on it started getting better. No, it's good right from first spray. And $119, it's really nice because the price is really not that huge. I know that people calculate meals, but then again, if you follow my guide on how I was talking about how you can save money, we think about usage, right? And really, I don't think that you're not going to use all of this because, the fall might be very short. It might be cut short this year because of global warming. It really, I don't think it's gonna be a lot unless maybe you live in colder climates really and it's always cold where you're at. But I think that because of global warming, I think the fall is gonna get cut short. I think the 30 mil, 100 something euros is gonna work for you. Okay, so that's my thoughts on that. Okay, so that's it. Francesca Bianchi, Sticky Fingers 2020. I like it. I mean, as a guy, would I wear it? Yeah, I like ambery, sweet, syrupy fragrances. So I might definitely. I was trying to get a full bottle today, actually, because one of these friends of the channel actually was trying to sell them, but I was too late. Okay, she sold it at a great price. But Sticky Fingers, I like it. I think it's great. Definitely try it, guys, or at least get a sample from Indigo for like $4. I mean, that's what I did. And make sure to comment below if you want to get shouted out on my morning thoughts video tomorrow. I will be answering questions. I will be reading back messages from you guys. All you got to do is comment below. Maybe tell me where you're from, and you can ask a question, or you can just make a comment. You can make a comment, a compliment, give a compliment to the channel, or talk about yourself. I would like to read about it and blast it out here on my next morning thoughts video. Some people have already started. Okay, so until then, this is Troy D. God bless. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow.